2020 fig tree update. Hey, welcome to Eat Your Backyard, my YouTube channel where I talk about all kinds of things. Sometimes I talk about edible things that you can grow in your backyard, things that are producers of food. They just occur and you just consume them. Yeah. Well, fig tree is one of those things. Fig tree will give you food for years. This fig tree has got to be 25 years old. It's unbelievable. Every year, piles of figs. Every year. And really, the best fertilizer that you could put in there are when I go catch fish, I take the carcasses and bury them underneath the fig tree. And it's like a superpower to this fig tree. One small fish, just put the remains in there, and this is what you get. Now, I've tree formed this thing. A fig tree can be like a giant, weird, springy bush that smells funny. So why not make it into a small, tree-formed thing that smells funny and is springy? Yeah, that's what I did here. I made it so that, by the way, it'll grow taller than this. I keep it trimmed down. Now look, I have these power lines here, if you can see them. Don't want to interact with 220 anytime soon, so I keep them trimmed down for that reason. But the other reason is that I can get to the fruit. I don't have to, with a stepladder, I am reaching all of it. And that's important, I think. So look, I can walk right under it. It creates kind of a beautiful canopy. Now the other thing I did is I made it so that my kids can climb in it. So of course you have to leave some big stepping branches. You have to put, there. You got to be able to get up in there and see what's going on. But this tree is definitely preparing for a championship year. Part of the reason is I did some fertilization in my backyard, and it's sensing that big time, using that. I estimate this tree will produce roughly 537,000 figs. That's my guess. That would be interesting, wouldn't it, to count the figs? Not let one fig hit the floor without being counted. Find out, what is this thing actually producing? What can we count on? Now this thing fruits like 2 times a year at least, and a third one that's kind of like a halfway deal where the leaves are halfway falling off and it's still throwing you 10 or 15 figs in the late season. But I mean, when it's fully blooming, there's 100 figs ripe at all times. So, by ripe I mean they're either have turned purple. This is a brown turkey fig tree. Save that for last. And it produces a purplish brown fruit. Well, those fruit before they turn brown are green, and you can pick them when they're plump. What I call plump. They're full size, but they haven't turned color yet, and you can then just counter ripen them, and they ripen so fast. I mean, they'll ripen in like less than a day. They'll be purple, and then the ones that were brown, they turn purple, and then they are fig Newton delicious, if you know what I mean. They have that really cool, like almost like it's like a jelly kind of inside them. It's super delicious, kind of the flavor of like honey with a slight essence of cinnamon. Really sweet. So anyhow, yeah, fig trees. Trim them. Now here's another thing as we look at the 2020 update. Problematic. A lot of branches. Look at what happens when we let so many branches occur. Now branches are running into branches are tangled. This has, look at that. Oh man, look at that. Don't fight with each other. Well, yeah, there's a classic example. 2 things going for the same space. Right, and you see that's occurring all over. So one of the things I'll do this year is to thin out some of these branches, and there's a lot of reasons why. You could say aesthetically it might be more pleasing, maybe not, but it allows more energy to go to the fruit that does go there, so that you'll get a larger fruit set. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it until I am told why that's completely false. But that's one reason I do it, based on that idea that I picked up years ago from some folks I learned from. And the other reason is, you can get up and climb it. You can get through it and pick it. Part of this is that it creates an impenetrable barrier to, like, how do you get to that? You got to go through this, and you can't. So then you got to somehow get over it. Like, it's just not practical. It's not utilitarian, not pragmatic. Therefore, trimming is inevitable. And when we trim it, when I trim it, I'm also going to be taking out some of these tall shooters here. Look at that tall shooter. I'll get him. Yeah, we're going to top those off real low. So they'll resprout more growth below, but we're not looking for a 30-foot high fig tree. Not really doing that. So we're going to take it down, keep it low. And I have only to say that the 2020 fig tree report is A+. This is ready to rock, also ready to be fruitful and multiply. I always keep the runners. I allow these, what do we call, suckers to grow along the bottom here. I allow them to grow down into the dirt, and they're just suckers that come off the bottom here. You cut those, get roots, and you grow them. I've got 2 fig trees in the back that came from this tree that same way. So I think I'll do that again this year. Probably make a video. Hey, maybe you'll come watch it. And you know, if you subscribe to Eat Your Backyard, you'll be notified as these new videos come out. So go ahead and subscribe. If you like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Give it a comment. Love to hear from you. And thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard.